Hi, this is Yogi from freedomtribe.net, and I want to ask you a quick question, which is quite important in my eyes. I'm in Tower Bridge at the moment, so it's a great sight behind me, and you've got Tower of London and things over there. And I've got this T-shirt on which says Magna Carta, Liberty since 1215, so it's relevant to the question I'm going to ask as well. So let me ask you, if you're in the freedom movement, what is your definition of a shill and group that might be a shill group? So how do you identify that as well? What's your sort of way of connecting the dots? Let's say I'm going to give you my definition, and then you can tell me in the comments whether you agree with it or not, or if it makes sense. So my definition is anybody who's trying to do something, educate people or spread awareness of common law, English Constitution, common law Constitution, Magna Carta, trial by jury as defined by Magna Carta 1215, those things, then those people are on the right track, in my opinion, after doing lots of research and being, in the movement, I guess, for the last 5 years since all the COVID stuff. And, having researched as much as I can, that's where it's led me to that. Those are the things that need to be done. Maybe it's not perfect. All the groups that are kind of, campaigning for those kind of stuff and educating people on those things, it's not perfect, but everybody, is trying their best and trying to maybe reach a common kind of denominator with regards to that, which is probably trial by jury as defined by Magna Carta 1215. And that's what everybody needs to maybe center around, really. And that's the common law constitution. So if you want to know more about that, go to commonlawconstitution.org, Will Kite's website, and he's been on GB News and other things. So, please look out for that. And also democracydefined.org, which is the other website I would recommend, where Will probably got a lot of his information as well, and gives a lot of credit to. So please look at that website as well. So democracy is not suffrage; it's not voting. Voting is not democracy. There's other ways that it's defined, really, and that's the important thing. So groups doing things on that level are really probably more on the right track and worth supporting, in my opinion. And then you got other groups on this side which only seem to do campaigning against legislation that's coming in, or that we need to kind of fight against, which is things like CBDCs, digital IDs, and chemtrails and climate change and all that kind of stuff, and vaccines and things. So, which is needed. I'm not saying it's not needed. It is required. However, if those groups that are kind of campaigning against those things that you're supporting, you're donating to, asking that question, how comes on their website they don't mention anything to do with the fundamental issue, which is the breaking of the Constitution and government overreach? Why do they not question that? Why do they not explicitly look for a solution around that? Why are they just campaigning? So campaigning is required for things. However, the biggest campaign should be trial by jury as defined by Magna Carta 1215. And when you read democracydefined.org and commonlawconstitution.org, you'll understand why that's the most important thing. So any groups that you're supporting that aren't explicitly doing that, at least like say 50% of their time, I'm going to say, even 25% of their time, then that is a red flag. So be careful and support other groups that are doing common law related things. And Freedom Tribe as well, the app that I have, which is a common law page. You may want to check it out. Lots of links to lots of good material there, and other things as well, the call to action page and things. So campaigning and things is necessary, petitions are necessary, things like that. However, it can only work if it creates leverage. If it doesn't create leverage, it's useless, really. Okay, bye for now.